Hey, my dear students, how are you today? I hope all of you are okay and safe. That's me, Mr. Ahmed speaking. Today's lesson will be an introduction into the new selection we are going to read. This introduction will help us a lot to understand the selection we are going to read. So please pay attention, leave anything in your hands aside, and listen carefully. And let me remind you with studying online rules, my rules. Watch, listen carefully, and learn. So we are in Unit 5 with the name of Culture, Week 3, and our new selection is Goodbye 382 Shin Dang Dong. It starts from 262 till 279 and you're reading street book. If you still remember, in the same unit 5, we had another selection. It was about Suki's kimono, about Japan and Japanese girl Suki. We learned a lot about Japan and the Japanese culture. We learned a lot about how people lived in Japan, how people celebrated in Japan. But today's selection will take us into a new country, a new culture. It will be in Korea. So, what's goodbye? Why that's the name of the selection? And what's 382 Shin Dang Dong? Okay, after this introduction, you will know everything and you will be able to read the new selection easily. So pay attention careful, please. Let's get started. Okay, let me ask you a question. What do you see in this illustration? You see a girl. What else? What's in her hand? An umbrella. Why? Because it's raining. Yeah, excellent. How do you know that it's raining? Because I can see drops of raindrops. Okay, what else can you say? What's in the other hand? She is holding a bag, yeah. And on her back, what do you say? A backpack, yeah, that's it. So we can see a girl in the rain with an umbrella, with two bags, and she is looking back at her home. So do you think that she is sad, she is happy, and how do you know? So you think she is unhappy? Why? Because she is looking back at her home, and this means she is going to leave. She is moving into a new place. How do you know? If you look into the other illustration here, the same girl in the taxi, and she is still looking back at her house while the taxi is moving. If you look below, you'll find question of the week. Why is it hard to adapt to a new culture? Okay, adapt means to be familiar with a new situation, a new environment, to be used to be familiar with a new situation or a new place. Once we finish reading this story, we will answer this question. Is it hard or easy to adapt to a new culture? Okay, let's move to the next point. Okay, now I want all of you to listen carefully to this video, and after that video we are going to have some pre-reading questions. Some questions we can answer before starting reading the selection. Listen carefully, please.
Why is it hard to adapt to a new culture? Adapting to a new culture can be a very difficult experience. Imagine moving away from your homeland to a new place, far away, where very few people speak your native language. You might not understand the habits or ways of doing things, and you might become very conscious of the things that you say and do. And you might feel as if people are saying impolite things, or things that insult you, or simply acting in an unfriendly manner. Over time, you might feel more comfortable and realize that there are other aspects to the situation that you can take advantage of, such as learning a different language, learning about a new place, and learning about new ways of doing things. This week you will learn that adapting to a new culture means accepting a new home, a new neighborhood, a new language, and new traditions. Why do you think it is hard to adapt to a new culture?
Okay, now let's move to the pre-reading questions. Okay, the first one, what's a culture? I told you before in Suki's kimono, what's a culture? Do you still remember? Okay, let me remind you what's a culture. So a culture is the way we live, the way we get dressed, what's our favorite food, what's our belief, what's our religion, how we greet each others, what are our habits, our behaviors, and so on. Next, do you think that all countries have the same culture? Do you think so? Do you think that people, for example in Egypt, behave the same way as people in America? Do you think that people in Egypt get dressed the same like people in Saudi Arabia? Do you think so? Of course not. Each country has got its own culture, its own way. Okay? Next. If you traveled to another country, what are things you will learn or say or find there? Of course, the first thing you are going to find difficult is the new language. You will find people talking a different language that you aren't used to. Also, you are going to find different food and different way of clothes and different behaviors and habits. Okay, let's move. What makes us leave our home? Okay, sometimes we have to leave our home to travel. Why? To study or to work or to have fun and visit our friends outside our country. Okay, and many other reasons to leave our home. If you traveled abroad, can you adapt easily to the new culture? Can you become familiar with the new culture easily? I don't think so, because you will find everything difficult, everything different from anything that you already had in your homeland. So it won't be easy at all to adapt a new culture. If you traveled abroad, what things will you miss the most? Of course, the first thing you are going to miss is your house, your home, your family, your friends. What else? Your bedroom, your food, your dress, anything that you used to do in your homeland. If you traveled abroad, will you miss your friends? Of course. All of us love our friends, so when we travel, we are going to miss them a lot. If you traveled abroad, can you make new friends? I think it's easy, because you made friends in your homeland, so it will be easy to make the same friends in the new land. So making friends isn't difficult at all. Okay, do you think that It's easy to say goodbye to your old home, to your old friends and family. Is it easy? Of course not. It will be so hard. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, let's talk a little about the genre. Do you know what's the meaning of genre? I told you before a lot. So genre is kind of the story. So realistic fiction is the genre of our new selection. What's the realistic fiction? Realistic fiction is a kind of story in which the characters, settings, and events are made up but could be real. So what does it mean? To understand it well, you have to analyze the word realistic and the word fiction alone. First, the word fiction means that the story is imagined. It's coming from my imagination. I made it up. When I was free in my leisure time, I started to write something that I imagined. And the word realistic means real, means true to life. Or we can say that the events in the story I made it up can happen. I can meet them in real life. That's what to mean by realistic fiction, okay? Okay, so when we start reading a new selection, we start with the author or the writer and sometimes with the illustrator. So as we learned, where can we find the author or the writer and the illustrator? Of course, in the cover page. Let's see. So in the cover page you can find the name of the author after the word by. So the author is Francis Park and Ginger Park, and the illustrator is Yang Sok Choi. So the illustrator is the man who provided the selection with illustrations and pictures to make it more exciting. Okay, let's get back. So we now know the answer of this question. Now I want all of you to preview, to have a quick look at the illustrations of the new selection and tell me what do you think this story will be about. Try to expect after previewing the illustrations. Try to imagine what is this story about. Okay, you can have 2 minutes, but you can stop the video, you can pause it, then play it back, play it again. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, after previewing the illustration, can you tell me what is this story about? Okay, I will tell you a short summary of the selection. So this story is about a girl called Jangmi. Jangmi, it's a Korean name for a Korean girl living in Korea, exactly at 382 Shindang-dong. So 382 Shindang-dong is her address. Yeah, excellent. The same like Suki. Suki was Japanese, but this one is Korean. Okay, because Jangim's parents are leaving to America, she has to say goodbye to her family, to her friends, and her home. Why? Because they are moving to live in America, in Massachusetts. But it was so hard for Jangmi to leave her home. So she has to leave everything behind, and we all know that it will be hard. That made her dislike and hate everything she is heard about new home from her parents. So her parents try to tell her some more information about her new home in America, but because she is leaving her home in Korea, She doesn't want to listen to anything about her new home in America. She just wants to stay in Korea. She just wants to get back to live in Korea. That's what made her not listening to her parents when they are talking about the new home she will live in America. Jangmi settled and stayed in her new home in Massachusetts, but she knows that she will never forget her first home in Korea. She will never forget her friends. She will never forget her family. She will never forget her favorite food, everything in her bedroom, her habits, anything she had in her homeland. She will never ever forget it. Okay, that was a short summary about the new selection, and that's enough for today. Well done, great job, champions. So I want all of you now to read the first two pages, because in the next video we are going to read them in detail. We will find difficult words, we will have some questions upon each paragraph, so be prepared well. Till we meet again, goodbye. That was me, Mr. Ahmed speaking. See you later.